Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, we have two guests here, and of course, this is Teacher Jing and Teacher Judy in Preply. So today, guys, you will witness their answers, their experience, what can they say about this platform Preply. By the way, this is just a disclaimers video, alright? So without any further ado, we're going to start now. All right, so now let's give the floor to Teacher Jean to introduce herself.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jesseline, but you can call me Teacher Jing. I have been teaching Preply for 2 years, and so far I'm very happy with Preply.
Oh, that's so great. But by the way, since you mentioned that you have been teaching in Preply for 2 years, so can you tell us your experience or can you tell us about Preply?
Okay, so Preply is somehow like a freelance platform wherein you can teach and you can teach actually students from all around the world and you can choose your schedule. So I would say it's very flexible.
True.
And also the rates. It actually depends on the teacher. How much rate, like for example, it actually ranges from $3 to until like around 30 or and above,
More.
so I would say that it's really it's a very nice platform. It allows you to have a work life balance also.
Oh, thank you for that, Teacher Jing. How about you, Teacher Judy?
Mm-hmm.
Would you agree or do you agree with Teacher Jing? Since you have been teaching also, or you are teaching in two companies, right?
Yeah.
In Native Camp and Preply. So, what can you say about Preply and, of course, your experience too?
Well, it has been I have been so grateful teaching, like in my whole time teaching in pre-play. At first, we get to manage and choose our time. You get to choose your own um, teaching time, and those students who are also kind of into your time will really come to you and have the chance to teach them with, of course, pure English. And one thing I like it is that I agree, it really gives you a work-life balance, and only thing is that you can control it. You can have it like I want to teach like in these hours. I want to go with it, and I want to, um, rest in this time. So you got all the time. You can hold your time, like you can manage through it. And one thing is that resources are being provided.
Wow.
Before the right time that the time that you are in teaching pre-play, you are going to hold all the materials that you. So it depends on what are the needs of your students, and also that the right approach that you give to your students will be also be given by the pre-play. And not all of that, you have the chance to even go to other websites. If you don't like this material, then you can just search your own thing to teach. Of course, you are, the classroom itself will give you the simplest tour that you can, and the teacher and the student could just have, like, can have the class so convenient.
Oh,
Yeah.
thanks for that. But how about this one? Because I know that not only us, but most of us, usually we ask first about the salary, right? So for you, Teacher Jane, so what can you say about Preply's commission? Yeah, because we know that every trial lesson for every new student, we are not paid, but it's okay, right? But what can you say about Preply's commission?
Oh, actually, I would say that it is reasonable. Most of the new teachers, their complaints is that the first trial class, we call it the first lesson, and we call it trial class actually.
is not you like it you, the student have to pay the company, but the teacher
It's not paid.
yes, so the teacher can how can I say it, the teacher do not get paid during the first class because we call it trial class, but that's why you have to really put your best, like you have to do your best during
Your
the
effort.
first trial, so that the student will book for the second class, and then after that, like the commission, it is actually structured like I actually forgot already how it is structured, but like for example, for for the first 100 lessons, that the company will get like around, I think 20 30,
Around 28.
yeah, around 28 plus something like that, around 28% commission. For example, you have a rate of, let's say, $5, and then the second class, after the trial class, the student will book again the class. So that's the time you get paid. So from the $5, you only get paid around 4 point something minus the commission. So that's for like after the 100 lessons, and then after that, you have to teach again for another like 100 lessons, and then it decreases, the commission decreases until I think
18%.
around 400 lessons you will get
Yeah.
to 18% commission,
The
and
lowest
actually
one.
it's really reasonable enough, and the salary is, if you are very hardworking, you teach a lot of classes, and at the same time you have like higher rate, it is really good. You can feed your family, you can buy your needs, you can buy your wants, and save also. So I think it's very good. It's reasonable enough.
Oh, right. And by the way, guys, so for all the aspiring tutors who are watching, so if you're going to reach 400 lessons, then you will also have the lowest commission, right? It's 18%. 18%. So, how about you, teacher Judy? Could you please share to us your worst experience, shall we say? And of course, the opposite one too.
Well, to tell you, I've experienced teaching only one student for like the whole 2 months. That was really
Why?
worst. I don't know, because maybe as you mentioned earlier, I've been teaching in two companies, and these are both really a very demanding job. I'm not really demanding job, but these companies are demands. Like they are very, like most of the teachers are into this platforms, and of course, not mentioning all other platforms, they are also kind of very good, you know. And speaking of having a worst experience, yes, as I mentioned earlier, I did. Like, it was just, it's frustrating in a way that, you are only opening the app, or like you are just only opening the pre-play classroom for just one student in a week. Yeah. And I have, you know what? I think everybody knows this. Like, before you withdraw, before you transfer your
money.
salary from Replay to PayPal,
PayPal.
and before you will finally receive it, because you have to connect your PayPal to your GCash account,
Or any bank account.
yeah, any bank account, there will be this, what do you call that, 500 pesos before
The minimum
yeah,
one.
the minimum
Before you can
amount.
cash in.
Yes, and so I have to wait for 2 weeks, before I could withdraw the 500 pesos, and that was not even I could not even get a $4 in that student. That student, I can only get $2. Imagine. So that was really the worst 2 months experience that I had in pre-play. But I never gave up, because at that time, siguro, I was I was also thankful that I am also hired in other company, because if I don't have a lot of students in pre-play, I could go and have the other one. So, but it's still good if we could be more blessed if we have more students in both of the companies. But I guess that was really the main thing to happen, because how can I manage if there are a lot of students in both of the companies? That was really the worst. And then I prayed, like, oh my goodness, what if this will happen? Like, blah blah, like, with all those the things in my mind, and said, oh, I was just thankful. But you know, later after that, this is now the best because I consider it the best. Why? Because after 2 months, like starting November, December, January, February until now, I have this number of students coming over.
Wow, regular
Yeah,
students.
praise the Lord for that. Like I do have regular students before, as I mentioned, I have one regular student. Imagine, and that was only $3. You know, I started with $3, but right now,
Oh, so that was your first rate.
yeah,
$3.
yeah.
How about you, teacher Jane?
$3 too.
$3. Same to
Yes.
me.
I can't even say that. Oh, pre-play is not even true. You know, like I guess pre-play is not doesn't have really a lot of like
At first.
yeah.
First, that was
Yeah.
our first impression. Like, huh? Is this real? Something
Yeah.
like that. But now we witness that it's really great.
And one thing, you should not give up because, you know, there's like students will get flood into your profile anytime. And of course, you should pray for that. You should be like aiming, hoping for that. And, you know, at that time, since I was active to the other ESL company, because I have only one student in pre-play, and during this November, December, up to this month, I don't know. I only just have a very minimum wage in the other company because I focus a lot in pre-play right now because of so many students. And that's one thing that I could really say that, wow, everything is provided.
Yes, so in its time. By the way, so at first we're just going to wait patiently.
Yeah.
True.
Really, in your first week of your of being hired in Preply, it's like, is this true? Am I really working? Because
Mhm.
you will not have any student at first.
Mhm.
But just wait patiently. So just spend those weeks improving your profile, description and
Yeah.
everything. Right. And also explore the classroom. So by the way, by the time you are going to be hired, please make time to explore in the classroom. That's the most important thing. And of course, by the way, teacher Jing, so you have been teaching for 2 years and I guess 4 months, right?
Yeah. Like I
No.
guess she's the pioneer among us.
Yeah. So I'm happily to introduce our recruiter.
Actually, guys, she's the recruiter.
Recruiter. Yeah, it's because of her that we know Preply.
Yeah.
And I want to ask you, Teacher Jane, so what was your strategy in order for you to, convert, or like, I know that you're going to conduct trial lessons. So how did you do your trial lesson so that that student will book a regular lesson?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, first of all, um, you basically do not know anything about the student during the first class or during your trial lesson.
You can ask
Um,
by chat.
yes,
Right?
yeah. You can, once the student will book your lesson, you get notification. So, and also
Mhm.
Preply will remind you, the teacher, that to ask the student to take their placement test. So it's
Mhm.
also one way to communicate to them. So what I usually do is I send them a message before, like when I get a notification that a new student booked my class. So I send them like a welcoming message and a
Yeah.
friendly tone. And of course, I ask them to take the placement test because it is also a way to know their level. And then after that, I try to ask them more about their goals in the chat. But usually students yeah, that's what I do. And then after that, like during the trial class, before I choose some materials. If they would say they would like to learn more about business English, then I already
Travel
have
English.
materials prepared, or like travel, or the conversation, grammar, and so on. So I do prepare that, and then after that, during the lesson, during the trial class, what I do first is I try to build a rapport with my students,
Yes.
because that's very important.
Mm.
They would feel comfortable. They would feel like you're friendly. They can express themselves. So that's what I do to make them like feel like
Stay.
yeah. That's what I
How
do.
to make
Keep
students
coming
stay.
back,
Yeah, I build the rapport first, and after that, like in order to know what my student really want, I usually ask the question, what is your goal?
That's the best, the most
Mm.
important
Why
one.
you are here correctly? What is your main goal? And so the student will tell you the goals. And then English, when we say is English is actually a very broad subject. So I usually ask, what particular aspect of English do you really want to focus? Because
True.
it's very hard
Specific.
to teach a student. It's very
Without
hard to
knowing
meet
her
the
goal.
expectation and the one of the student if you do not know what he or she's main goal or like aspect that he or she wants to improve. So I usually ask that, and then after that you can consume the 30 minutes, like 30 the first 30 minutes to just get to know each other, ask the goals and stuff like that, and then after that you ask some backgrounds, and also it is a way to assess whether the students can,
Can speak well.
yeah, whether the student can speak well,
Or
like, or
express.
if like in the beginner stage, and then after that I usually go through the materials. Once I know the goal and the expectation of my students, that's the time I choose a material from what they said, because it is very important that the students feel valued, and their expectations are met. So that's just what I do, and then after that I teach, and after the class, 5 minutes before the class will end, I usually just encourage them
Mhm.
to book more classes. I try to teach, and this is very important. When you teach, you have to be engaging. You have to try to be as fun as possible. Because
Yes.
it would not be so good if you will make a bad impression, like, oh, the class is so boring, and stuff like that. So you
Yeah.
have to be very careful in conducting your lesson. Try to be as fun as possible, engage your student, interact also, and that's just it. And pray at the same time. So that's what I do to have more students.
Oh, okay. By the way, because we're not informed if how many students did you get in your first week of being hired in
Well,
Prep?
actually, because I applied in Preply like at, I think, no, December. I started teaching in December.
Vacation
And
time.
yeah, I actually had a lot of students right away. So I was
Oh,
actually
good for
pan-
you.
yeah, I was panicking because I can't find any YouTube videos like trial lesson classes. It was
Yeah.
very hard. I think you can there are few teachers who post about Preply in YouTube. So it was really hard for me. I was
You
actually
don't
in
have
the back.
enough resources.
Yeah. I didn't have any idea how to conduct my class. So it was really hard. You're very fortunate now that teacher Joy Jane channel, teacher Joy is actually doing that for you.
Our
So
pleasure.
yeah, so I had a lot of students actually during the first times that I applied, I got hired because it was vacation time for me.
Of course, thank you for that. By the way, so most of our viewers or most of my viewers in this channel, they ask about how to increase rate.
Oh,
Teacher
Uh,
Jody is very
okay,
good
teacher
with
Joy,
that.
can you try to
how to increase your rate?
yes.
It's just up to you.
Oh,
If you think that your capabilities is enough for that rate, then be confident in increasing that rate. For example, like we do have struggles sometimes. So guys, we talk right. Oh, I do have like we do have like small number of students nowadays. Let's go back to like rate of
$6.
6, 5, or
lower
like
a rate,
yeah,
something like that.
because
Mhm.
one thing that I sometimes know with the students, like they would really adapt and could just pay a little, like
Not all.
yeah, not
Ah.
all, but there are some students like, this teacher is having a very low rate, so maybe I could because I could just pay like a little,
It's the only
like that.
rate that you could afford
Yeah,
to.
Yeah, well, we do understand because that's like socioeconomic status. We have the right to do that, But yeah, the only thing that you have to remember is that if you think that you because our students could really judge us, like, is this rate really very deserving for the teacher? Like, they would even visit your profile. They would even check,
Everything.
everything. So if you think you have the capabilities to increase like 10, like you, because I guess how many lessons did she teach?
1,500
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, if you visit my profile, guys, just don't be shocked because I'm active again. I'm active in both of the two companies, so I guess I just deserve like maybe I don't know,
700.
700 lessons. Yeah, because I have to manage also. I have to close some of my schedules and pre-play also my time, my slots. I mean, so yeah, I guess that's the only thing. Maybe Sir Jing have to answer.
All right. So, by the way, before we forgot to ask Teacher Jing about her best and worst experience, so I would like to ask you now.
So one of the worst experience that I had is, for example, technology is actually very good, but sometimes you have to prepare yourself because, for example, if you have a book class and all of a sudden you have electrical interruption due to weather, due to
Power outage.
uncontrollable circumstances, so it's very hard. You can't do anything. You can't. You can actually have a class on the phone, but you can't access the library. So it's not possible if you use only the phone. So
Yeah.
that's one.
It's possible, right?
It is if you just do video, but
If you
Oh.
just do also free conversation,
Yeah,
that's
Oh,
just
yeah.
fine.
but if you want to use the library and the materials from Preply, it's not
You can have,
possible.
yeah.
Yeah, so my worst experience is because Preply now has a new policy. For example, if a student book a trial class and you get reported for not attending the class, whatever the reason is,
Even if it's power outage.
yeah, whatever the reason is, if they report you that you did not attend the class, you first offense, like I think there's like 5 offenses, and then after that you get blocked or like
It's for trial, okay? Trial classes.
for trial class, but for
Regular
classes, you get reported for being absent, and you can probably will ask you to watch a video on how to
Yeah.
unhide your profile. Then you can just watch it and you can come back. But with trial class, I think the first offense you will be your profile will be hidden ba?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, hidden for 7 days, and then after that the second offense 14 days. And then
Yeah, that's the
you
new
know, so
one.
it's very hard if you don't have a lot of students yet and your profile gets hidden, then it's
That's
it's
why
not
we
so
need
good
to be
for you. So
responsible.
you have to be very responsible if you have trial class. And the best experience I would say is well, Preply has helped me a lot
During
because
pandemic.
yes, because I actually I got hired during pandemic, and it became my full-time job. And
No other companies.
yeah, it's my
Yeah.
full-time job actually. So I would say it's really good. So to those of you who are not yet a Preply tutor and is still planning and sometimes get discouraged and demotivated because
Especially at
of
first.
the demo lesson that you have to do without pay, it's okay.
Trial lesson, by the way.
Yeah, or the trial lesson, it's okay. It's actually like that when you're starting. They say that no, no, no
No.
pay, no gain.
Yeah, no pain, no gain. And you don't have to be discouraged even if the student will not come back because literally, you know what, guys, just personally speaking, they will just come back at anything they want.
Yeah. So
They can come if they cannot come back right after the trial lesson, of course we would feel discouraged because we
we should
did,
follow up.
yeah, that's okay.
Mhm.
We should follow up and just hope for the best for them to come
They're
back.
just probably busy, but after some time they will just come back. And but of
Or-
course, if you did your best.
Yeah, or I guess our methodology or strategy in teaching did not work for them.
Yeah.
And it's
So-
okay because I can really say that Preply has really a lot of students, and you don't have to worry, about anything.
It's all over the world.
Yeah. It's
Oh, how
really a
about the
lot.
peak hours, by the way? Any
hours.
Yeah.
Oh, for me, I would say nowadays, because I can't wake up early morning,
Same to me.
they say that a lot of students usually also book around like in the dawn, like 1 a.m. to 4 a.m.
Yeah.
Like I can't do that because it's not very healthy. So for me, the peak hours is afternoon, like around
Oh.
2 until 11.
I guess so.
I teach
For
around
me,
that
it's
time,
around
2 to
6 a.m.
11 p.m.
Mm.
Yeah, from Europe, usually students from Europe, they usually book later at night or in the afternoon. And also like that's the peak hours for me. I just don't know for
For me,
them.
it's around 6 a.m. until 9 p.m. But usually, most of my students are from 6 a.m. to 11 a.m. and then around 5 p.m. to 9 p.m.
Mhm. Well, back in January, I could also say that January, February, March, April, up to this month. I guess my peak hours is like morning and afternoon. And I also well, this too
She always wake up at
I
around
like I did
1
a
a.m.
yeah, I did a midnight class. Like I was
Oh
like
my.
every time I visit this room, like they could just, are you sleepy again or like that? Because I do have midnight class for like 3 months. And right now she gave up because I do have internet connection, but yeah, that's okay. She will come back.
All right. Anyway, so to sum up, everybody, this is just the part one of our, question and answer with fellow preply teachers. So just
Comment your questions.
Yeah.
We'll
Yes.
answer them.
Yeah.
or if you did not answer them, what do you call this? In
She
written
will
form,
answer.
then we'll just make another video.
Mhm.
Sure.
Comment your questions. Keep them coming. So we can answer your
we can,
questions.
yes,
Guys,
we
you
can
really have
more
to grab,
videos.
as long as you watch this video, grab the chance to really move on to the application process.
Yes.
Yes, and we also, or this channel has its, video about the complete
Yes.
step-by-step application process. It's updated, by the way. So thank you everyone for watching. I hope that you gained some insights and see you again next time in our video.